Was this woman able to save her husband from becoming a passport bro? Or was the 304's powers to be from overseas able to consume her husband? Or was her feminine energy and her powers of being a 304 able to push her husband away? Find out next on the all new exciting episode of The Andrew Show. Let's go. So a woman by the name of Melissa Nobles tries to save her husband from becoming a passport bro. The moment I knew, I learned he had a new girlfriend and flew across the world to win him back. After breaking up with Sam, Melissa Noble thought she had made the right decision, but when he moved on from her to another woman, she was devastated that the relationship was over. Sometimes, when you have been with the same person for several years, the relationship can start to feel a little stale. That crazy, all-consuming passion fades, and the transition into a different kind of love that happens a lot in relationships, right? People get bored out of relationships. That doesn't mean they necessarily want to leave each other, but people do get bored. I mean, that's just the way things are. It happens. I mean, people fall out of love, people get bored. That's why there's different type of relationships in this world. We have polygamy, we have I don't know, swingers, you know what I mean? And people who don't understand the lifestyle tend to really bash people who want to be a part of the swingers club. Now, me personally, I got nothing against people who want to be swingers. Do I kind of make fun of it sometimes here and there? Yeah, it depends. If another person doesn't agree on being a swinger, because it takes two people to swing, right? At least two people to swing, but well. It was all around the 4-year mark, she added, that I started to feel like this was the Sam or honeymoon period was over. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. It was around the 4-year mark that I started to feel, she said, like with Sam. Our honeymoon period was over, and I felt like we were both taking each other's for granted. To put into simple, we were in a rut. At same time, I was feeling really delusional with other parts of my life. I was burnt out from working as a journalist at a daily newspaper. I was hating living on the Gold Coast, and I desperately needed a change. When a friend invited me to do work on a holiday in Canada, I leaped over and I took the chance. Now, listen, I'm just going to say this now. I'm just going to point this out, and this is just honestly, some people may agree with me. Some people may disagree with me on this, but I've always said this from traditional lifestyle values, right? And it's installed into all of us, whether we're living in modern times or not. Women want men to be traditional. Women want men to be providers. They want us to work. Women really don't want to work. It's not in their design to work hard. Women are not supposed to work hard. And I don't believe that women should be working hard. I believe that a man should be working hard. That's what we do. But I think a man should be getting paid a whole lot more money, since we're here to provide for women. I don't believe women should be working. I believe that men should be getting paid a lot of money, but there are some women who are agreeing with me now, because this is traditionalist. Women were raised to bear children, take care of children, take care of the household, make sure the household is correct. That way, when your man comes home, he has a loving household to take care of. Woman is supposed to be cooking. She's supposed to be cleaning. She's supposed to be taking care of the household. In exchange for that, the man is taking care of her, providing for her, buying the things that she wants, buying the things that she needs. That is called traditionalism, right? But now also there's another part of a relationship where people do the 50-50 thing. Now, I I'm a so-called believer in the 50-50. Some people may not believe in it, but I do. I have no problems with the 50-50. 50-50 could be like this, okay? One week, or it could be like this even if you're dating. I can take you out one week, take you to anywhere you want to go, buy anything you want, and I'm spending my money. But I know next week I'm going to be probably struggling. I'm going to be tough with some cash. So next week you take care of the bills. You take care of not just the bills, but let's just say going out expenses rise. You take care of the expenses next week. I'll take care of the expenses this week. That could also be a 50-50 split. Also could be a 50-50 split is if you're living with your wife or your girlfriend or whoever, when your boyfriend or your husband. I know some of y'all rock that way. It is what it is, but I'm just saying. If you were to go that route, then you can split the rent, the electricity, the cable, the health insurance, the health bills, whatever type of bills you guys got going on with each other. That's also considered as a 50-50 split. But some women don't agree with that, and they don't like that situation either. Men do agree with it. There's some men who agree with it and some men who disagree with it. But I think the ones who get mad and the ones who disagree with the 50-50 are usually the men who are possibly in the high ranking level of either making over six figures or they have the money to do so. So a 50-50 split doesn't come to mind in their situation. Everybody's situation is different. Me, I'm a motherfucker that can't afford Benny Hammers every week and taking your ass to season 52, and I don't make over $200,000 a year. So in my case, I think a 50-50 split would be fine when it comes down to certain things. Now, I also believe that if a man's going to ask a woman out to date or go on a date with a female or go out and do certain things, I also believe that that a man should pay for the dinner first. If you're inviting a woman out to eat and you're inviting a woman out for dinner or whatever sort, like if I invite somebody out, I'm expecting to pay. If it's my boys, I'm not gonna be real with you. Like I'm expecting for them to pay because it's a dude. You know what I mean? Like it's a little different. Unless we decide to say, "Hey, man, I'm a little bit tight this week. Can you get me?" Blah blah blah. No problem, man. I got you in a beer. I got you for this, or I'll pay your food or whatever, man. I got you. It's happened before. I mean, man, most of the time I've been the one to fucking pay for a nigga's meals and a nigga's fucking beer and shit if I'm chilling with him. But I've never had the same in return because I never had put myself in that position to where I had to have another guy pay for my shit. Like I just never did it. Or I never put myself in a position where I had to have another female pay for my shit. I just never did it. But have I had a woman take me out to dinner and bought me things? Yeah, I have. But she insisted on doing so. So I let her be. I let her do what she do. So if she insisted on doing so, it's not like I asked her for it. She just willingly did it. But anyways, Sam and I tried doing long distance initially, she said, but I felt like it wasn't working. I was completely lost and thought that being young, I should see the world and find my feet on my own. So I broke it off. See, that's the problem though. Um See, women can't really do things like this. They have a limited time for them to find a suitable partner so that way they can have children. So a man can do that. He has a lot of time. He has all the time in the world to do that. Women are on a short period of time. So with their youth and their young and their beauty, they have to use it accordingly. You can't abuse your beauty like a lot of these females are doing. The whole inflation is going up, shaking their asses and shit all over the place, begging for attention, sleeping with multiple different dudes, don't want to lock down to anything committed or be serious about anything. Eventually, time's going to pass you by. And once time does pass you by, there's a new market of younger women that's out there, and they're going to take your place. But when we say these things, it's like, a lot of women don't want to listen. They don't want to believe that shit until they reach that age, and then they realize, hey, Drew, you were right. We hit the wall. but they're not gonna admit it though. You know what I'm saying? All this time of messing around with different dudes and putting dudes in friend zones and men who actually can show that they care about them. They put them in friend zones, and later on they expect the same guy that they put in friend zone to actually be there for them. Like, it doesn't work like that. Once you made your decision, that's it. A real man is not going to sit around and just wait for you to pick him. Like, I don't think any man should sit around and wait for a female to pick him. You should just move on, because if she's not respecting your time, she obviously doesn't value you. So why are you going to value her time while she has you on the sidelines? Fuck that. I'm a fucking superstar. That's what you got to tell yourselves, man. Fuck that. I belong in the outfield. I'm not in the dugout. What the fuck I look like sitting down? I'm a superstar. I'll be hitting home runs as soon as I get up there, man. I look like a boss. I taste like a boss. I smell like a boss. Fuck is wrong with you? A woman should never put you on the sidelines. The moment a woman puts you on the sidelines, that's what I call AKA friend zone. Fuck that bitch. Move on. Then she continues to say, a few weeks after that, I found out on social media that Sam had met someone else. One of his relatives shared a post alluding to seeing Sam and Sam and a woman, and after some digging, I realized he had a new girlfriend. You see, this is what happens when women don't appreciate any value in a man at first, because she figures that he can't get another girl, or he probably fell off, or he lost his step. That's what happens sometimes when you get into a marriage with a female. Once she feels that you can't get any other female, and she done already locked you down in monogamy, she already feels that she got you, because she already sucked the masculine beast that you're supposed to be. Men are not supposed to be monogamous. Women know that too. We're not built to be monogamous creatures, bro. Like, we're not monogamous. We're meant to have sex with multiple women, because we see sex as nothing more as pleasure. It makes us feel good. It gets us off, just like it does to you as well. But we don't grow deeply in love with sex. Women grow deeply in love with sex. We just love the physical part of sex. When women have sex, it's a whole new emotional roller coaster for them. Their emotions get all tied up and all wounded up. It becomes an emotional, deep experience for her. No matter how many times she's been with so many dudes. That's why a lot of these girls that are a little cuckoo and nutty, right? A lot of them had too many sex with too many dudes, soul catchers, too many bodies. That's why when men ask you, well, how many bodies you had in the past, we do this because we want to know what we're getting ourselves into. So with that being said, in this case, like she said, one of his relatives shared a post alluding to seeing Sam and a woman, and after some digging, I realized, she said, he had a new girlfriend. I was utterly shattered to think he had moved on without me. I couldn't eat. I barely slept. I drove my flatmates nuts, crying all over the time and behaving like a woman poised. See, this is what happens. This is what scares a woman, right? This is what scares the woman the most, is having that deep chemistry with someone, having that time and that chemistry growing with someone. And I'm sure that man had to possibly go through hoops in order for him to courtship her, because Lord knows we know women like to play games, and especially with good men who are trying to get to know them, they get put on the sideline. So while she's going through her habits of ex-boyfriends or a dude that she's trying to break it off with, she's still emotionally attached. While she's doing the transition of trying to get with somebody else, this is why these women are programmed and known to cheat all the time, because they go by their emotions. Women are driven by emotions. Men are not. When we sleep with different women, it's just for us to have pleasure and hey, it feels good. To them, it's a deep connection. Some women are understanding that we are physical creatures. And that's the problem. Women do not understand men. We can love. We can love unconditionally. And I'm pretty sure he loved you. But what is he supposed to do? I mean, if he's treated like shit, if he's not getting what he wants out of the relationship, a man is going to do what a man's going to do. He's going to look somewhere else because there's another woman who's more than willing to do so. If you're not going to step up to the plate, another female is. And a lot of women need to understand that and realize that we can move on. It's a sexual inflation going on, a whole inflation. And there's a lot of women out here that are thirsty and horny as shit. So it ain't hard for us to get some punani if we really wanted to. For any man out there. But anyways, I couldn't eat. I barely slept. I drove my flatmates nuts, crying all the time and behaving like a woman poised. I knew that I was being completely unfair and unselfish. After all, I had broken Sam's heart. So she admitted that she broke his heart in the first place. And he had rightfully moved on and met someone else. But I couldn't help the way I felt. Somewhere in the depths of my despair, I had a relations. Sam was the one. See, in her mind, in her process, in her body, in her chemical imbalance, she knows that he is the one because he's doing things that other men can't do. And he's done it. And I'm not talking about just the fucking part, all right? It's deeper than just having sex. Now we're talking about a woman's emotions, right? This man has tapped into a woman's emotions that most men can't do. Or most women are not allowing most men to do, or they are trying to let men figure out how they can tap into their emotions. Once you figured out the Da Vinci Code on how to tap into a woman's emotions, you have completely gotten her. You can do whatever you want to her. You can do whatever you want with her. She will allow you to do anything you want in front of her. Shit, you can probably be able to smash 2, 3 other girls and she wouldn't care, right? As long as you let her know, right? Because now you've tapped into her emotions to where she completely, utterly gives her trust and her wisdom and her guidance to you. She has submitted to you. When a woman is submissive, it doesn't matter what you do, man. She will never leave you because she is utterly lusted in a love spell for you. She has submitted to you. So if a woman is easily to leave you because you've cheated, that just shows you right there that she never loved you in the first place. This is really deep. Some women would disagree and say, "Nah, he cheated. Fuck him. He doesn't." No, see, you're thinking with emotions. Men, when we cheat, we don't think with emotions. We think with what we feel. We think with physical, what we feel. Now, as far as leaving you, I don't think a man is just gonna leave you just to leave you, right? It's a process. He might cheat on you. He might be dating another girl and seeing another chick, but if he's seeing her a lot, constantly, then there's a possibility that maybe she might be doing something different that you're not doing, and you got to figure that out. That's happened to my ex. My ex wanted to see the girl that I cheated on her with. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did. One of my ex girlfriends I cheated on with, and she wanted to see uh the girl that I cheated on her with. So she ended up seeing a girl, and she's like, "Oh, she's skinnier than me. Oh, she's in better shape, and all this other shit." I was listening. I just seen all those insecurities coming from her, but I did feel bad. You know, I did feel bad. Was I a dog at the time? Maybe so, because it's not that I didn't care. It's just that I felt like I was being too controlled, and I don't like to be controlled. But I had to also analyze it. Like, that's the old me. That's the young me. The young me would think like, "Hey, I'm being too controlled, and I don't want to deal with it." The older me now would appreciate a woman like that. that cares about me that much, that's willing to stick her neck out for me that much, that's willing to deal with my shit. Because there's not a lot of women out here that's gonna deal with a lot of men shit. If you got a good one, she would. Just saying. Just keeping it real. Anyways, he says, I booked the flight home and called him to say I was coming back. It was one of the hardest phone calls of my life. Wow. I was so nervous about that, what he'd say. I think deep down, he wanted it to work too. And he agreed to give it another shot. He was there waiting for me at the arrival gate. So she flew in and, she was there waiting at the arrival gate. I'll never forget it, she says. He's lost so much weight and looked like a shell of the person I've left him behind. Wow. So I guess he lost a lot of weight. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Okay, I guess it's a bad thing in her view, in her eyes. My heart broke with guilt. We kissed in the terminal, tears streaming down our faces. It took time to repair the damage I'd done, but Sam ended up forgiving me. A month later, we began a new chapter of our relationship when he joined me in Canada. We spent 3 magical years traveling together, making unforgettable memories, from skinny dipping on a beach in Rio after a few times to explore the deserts of the back camels in Morocco. It turns out you don't need to see the world alone as a rite of passage. You can do it with a person you love besides you. Sam and I have now been married almost a decade, so I guess he is no longer a passport bro. She actually saved him from becoming one. We have 3 beautiful children together. I'm so grateful to have him as my life partner, she says. Our love has gone through many different stages, deepening within each other's hurdle we clear together. To this day, I sometimes wonder, she says, what would have happened if I've never seen that post on social media. Never put 2 and 2 together and that had met someone else. It was sliding doors moments that changed courses of life for the better, she says. So, in other words, it took her to realize what type of value this man was, that he can get other women. See, he was in the States and he probably wasn't getting those women. I know. Trust me. We all been through it as men. We all get rejected and being treated like shit in America from women. And because we work so hard and we're trying to build ourselves, she figured like, hey, he's not fun anymore. He's just a married guy. He's not getting no women. He's not exciting me. None of that shit. But he got his passport and he traveled. And now the woman starts to see he has options. Let me tell you something, fellas. And realistic and truly, this is the truth of it, right? Once you do get a passport, well, I got it backwards. Once you do get a passport, man, that's the truth. Once you do get a passport and you start to travel, let's just say you had an ex-girlfriend or you were involved with a girl and y'all broke up and, she just started treating you like shit. Or let's just say she cheated on you and she slept around with 2, 3 different guys or whatever, right? Or you just had a bad breakup, or she curses you out, she says you lame, all this other shit. There's anything in the world. Did some dirty shit. Next minute, she's out there, she's fucking some other guy. You got the suspicion of it. She may not be posting on social media, but obviously, she's out. She's not answering your phone calls. She's not returning your phone calls. She trips on you on dates, ghost, all that other bullshit, ignores you. Anything that's known to man that could really push a man away from a bitch. That's what she was doing, right? Let's just say she did all that. She's moved on. Just like the girls I've met previously, even the bartender chick. Played fucking games and moved on, right? Cool. Now, what's going to happen? Especially if she follows you on social media. This is why I repeat, I do not block or erase my haters or my trolls or my ex-girlfriends. I let them see my progress in making. So that way, they can see the failure of me. Then they can see the come up of me. Once they see the come up of me, then they're just a shell of who they are. I know it's a little deep, but I'll make y'all think about it. You become value. You become value. Women will start to respect you more because you become value. The whole saying goes like this, man. Women always want what they can't have. And once they can't have what they want, they start to chase it. Anyways, guys, thank you all for joining the show. Make sure you guys go ahead and get those likes up, man. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be hitting y'all with some videos, man. I know your boy's been kind of busy and shit, but you know how it goes. Anyways, make sure you guys go ahead and get those likes. Subscribe to the channel. You see it up above. Subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. Anyways, man, if you like me making other content like this or having live shows, you know how I do it. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make a PayPal donation or even a super chat to help support the channel. Greatly appreciate it if you can. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one.
The Andrew Show.